So guys, we have calculated the displacements, and with the help of displacements, we find this end moments, right, which is acting at the end of the members, right. So now we need to draw the shear force diagram, bending moment diagram, the deflection curve, and the axial force diagram. Okay. So before that, I will be drawing the free body diagram, and we'll get an idea how the forces are there and are acting at the end of the members, right. So now we need to draw the, what you can say that this free body diagram for this frame structure. Okay. So let us suppose this is one member over here. Okay. Now the value of this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, and again this is C, this is B, right? So at MAB value is 1 minus 1.01 and its value is negative. So this value is 1.01. Okay. The value of MBA is 3.85 and it is clockwise. 3.85. Right. Now let us see what are the reactions at A. At A there will be some vertical reaction. Let us term this as VA. And there will be some horizontal reaction. This is clockwise. Let us suppose this is HA. Okay. So let us find this HA, VA. Okay, first. So here we will use the concept of statics. Equation of statics means, let us do one thing. Let us find this, what you can say, there will be some reaction VA at this point. And there will be HA acting over here. Okay. So there is an unbalanced moment over here. Right? What is the value of this unbalanced moment? This is the net moment will be in clockwise direction. Okay, why clockwise? Because 3.85 is clockwise and this is minus 1.01 is anti-clockwise, and it will be balanced by HA into 3. Okay, this couple will balance this unbalanced clockwise moment. Right? And the value of this horizontal reaction will be 0.9466, or you can say that this is 0.95. Okay, the same amount of force will act over here, 0.95. Right? VA reaction will calculate later. Now you can see that at B, here I am having 8 kilonewton load acting like this, right? And this angle we know that this is alpha 36.86 degree. Okay. The value of MBC is minus 38.5. This is minus 38.5. And the value of MCB is 4.44 kilonewton meter. Okay. Now if you look into this inclined beam, this is the force 8 kilonewton over here. This is minus 3.85. This is 4.4 kilonewton load over here, right? This 8 kilonewton load we can break into the component, one along this inclined member and one perpendicular to this inclined member. This we have already calculated. This is 8 cos 36.86, which is equals to 8 into cos 36.86. This is 6.4440. And this component along this beam is 8 into sine 36.86. This is 4.8. Okay, this angle is basically 36.86 degree. Now let us suppose there is some axial force acting on this beam, acting on this inclined member, and this is we denote by HB over here. This is, let us suppose, HC. Okay. Now, what you can see that due to this 8 kilonewton load, due to this component, this 6.40, there will be some force, resisting force in upward direction. Okay, and its value will be 6.40 divided by 2. 6.40 divided by 2. This value is 3.2. Okay, 3.2, right? So this value comes from, we have taken the equilibrium for this vertical reaction only, right? For this inclined member. Now there is some unbalanced moment is also there. Unbalanced moment is, this is 4.44. Okay, here this is minus 3.85. So you can see that the magnitude of the clockwise moment is more than the anti-clockwise moment, right? So we'll have net clockwise moment. So to balance that clockwise moment, we'll be having moment in anti-clockwise direction. So it will act like this. The couple will act like this, right? And its value will be 4.44 minus 3.85 divided by 7.5. Because this is the lever arm. This distance is 7.5. So its value comes out to be 0.0786. So here it is in downward direction 0.0786, and here this is in upward direction. The value is 0.0786. This is due to moment, and this 3.2 is due to vertical force, right? So net force this is 4.44 minus 3.85 divided by 7.5 minus 3.2. So the net value at this point is 3.121. Okay, and here the net value is 0.0786 plus 3.27, right? So at this point there is a vertical force with the value is 3.121, and at this point there is a vertical force, the value is 3.27, right? And there is axial force also, which is HB and HC. Why different forces we have taken? Because at point there is some horizontal load also. There is some horizontal load, or you can say that the load is acting along the beam. So reaction at this point and this point will be different. Okay. Now let us come to this DC member. This axial force will calculate later. For this DC member, if you see, MCD is minus 4.5, minus 4.44, and the value of MDC is minus 2.68. Now this is basically the anti-clockwise net clockwise moment. Net clockwise moment is in anti-clockwise direction, net moment, because both the moments are anti-clockwise. So to balance this, there will be a couple which will be acting in clockwise direction, and the value will be 2.68 plus 4.44 divided by 7.5, and again the value will be 0.95. Okay, this is 4.44 plus 2.68 divided by lever arm is what, 7.5, and this is equals to HD. There will be also some vertical force will be there, which will be calculating later. Okay. Here also same amount of vertical force in downward direction. You can define it as VD, VD. Okay. So this is I think this is okay. So but you can say that with the help of these forces, we can draw the shear force diagram and the bending moment diagram. Okay. Now we need to find, now we will find these axial forces also in this member. Okay. So next step is to calculate the axial forces. With the help of this free body diagram, we can easily draw the bending moment diagram and the shear force diagram. Okay. Because for shear force diagram and the bending moment, the forces are sufficient. But we need to find the axial forces also. Now, let us consider this joint basically. Okay. So, this is the actual condition. We made a cut like this. Okay, and we showed free body diagram on these members. Okay. So, let us assume that at this point there is some horizontal reaction acting in this direction. Okay, and here at this end the horizontal direction is acting in this direction. So let us suppose this is, you can define HB, or let us suppose this is HB. This is HC at this point, right? Here the situation is like this. Okay. Now there will be HB acting in this direction. Okay. One vertical reaction is there, which we have already calculated. This is 3.121. So opposite of this will act in this direction, 3.121. Right? There is a moment minus 3.85. Okay. MBC. So opposite of this is anti-clockwise, so this is clockwise moment will be there, 3.85, right? At this point, we have 0.95 kilonewton reaction. So one reaction will act like this, 0.93 for equilibrium of this part. Okay. There is one VA which we have shown like this. So one VA will act in upward direction. Okay. And one moment is there. This 3.85 is in anti-clockwise, so there will be anti-clockwise moment 3.85, right? This is the forces which will be acting at this portion only. Okay. Now we'll consider the equilibrium of this portion basically. So you can see that this angle is alpha, we already know. Okay. So I can resolve my forces like this. If this is this portion, so there is one HB, one VA, run 0.95 reaction. Okay, moment we don't require now because we don't need moment right now. Okay, we'll calculate these forces by simply taking equilibrium along x and y direction. This is 3.121. Okay, this is alpha, which is 36.86, right? Now the important thing comes. So basically what we are doing is we have taken this portion, right? This portion we have taken. So the component of HB, if this will be again alpha, vertically opposite angle, there will be one component HB sine alpha, and here one component HB cos alpha, right? And here also this is 3.121, or you can show it here. This is 91 alpha, this is alpha. Okay. So one component, this component in horizontal direction will be 3.121 sine alpha, and vertical direction it will be 3.121 cos alpha. Okay, this is alpha, so this is alpha. That you can know through trigonometry. Now we will take summation fx0 and summation fy0. That's okay. So if we take summation fx0, so I can write h cos alpha, hb cos alpha minus plus 0.95 plus 3.121 sine into cos 36 sine 36.86 degree. Okay, this is acting in this direction. Okay, and this alpha, this hb cos alpha is negative because it is acting in this direction, right? This 0.95 is acting in this direction, so it is positive. So if you calculate the value from here, so the value will be 0.95 plus 3.121 into sine 36.86 divided by cos 36.86. So this value is HB equals to 3.52, and it is positive, so direction which we have assumed is correct, right? So at this HB point, at this B point, there is a horizontal reaction which is equals to 0.352, right? So HB equals to 0.352. Okay. Now if we take the summation fy0, summation fy equals to 0. Okay. So here I can write VA minus HB sine alpha minus of 3.121 cos alpha equals to 0. Okay. So if you do that thing, so VA will comes out to be HB is 3.52. This is 3.52. 3.52 into sine 36.86 plus 3.121 into cos 36.86. This value comes out to be VA equals to 4.60. Okay. So direction is again positive. So this VA is 4.60, and this again this VA will be also be equal to 4.60. So at the end, this VA force is 4.60. Okay. So this thing is done. Now we have calculated the axial force in this member, axial force in this member, right? Now we'll look at this inclined member basically. At this inclined member, I am just showing the horizontal forces. At this inclined member, there is one force 3.52, and here the component of this 8 kilonewton load acting in this along this beam is 8 into sine 36.86. The value is 4.80, right? Okay. If this is the case, there will be one reaction at this end to balance this force, which is 4.80 minus 3.52. Okay, so this is 1.28 from here. Okay, this force. If we take summation F0 along this beam, along the beam, right? This is the case. So guys, the forces this at this end is 1.28 kilonewton. Okay. Now we need to calculate what is this actual force in this member. Okay. So this thing we can do with summation F, not summation F. We can take the equilibrium of this whole system, right, in vertical direction. This is the case. This reaction we have already found. This is 4.60. This is 8 kilonewton. So this reaction will be what? If we take summation Fi0, so 8 minus of 4.6. So this value will be 8.4.6 is 3.4 kilonewton. Okay. So this value is 3.40 kilonewton. This is 3.40 kilonewton, right? So guys, we have calculated the values in each and every member. Now these are the forces are sufficient to draw the axial force diagram, shear force diagram, and bending moment diagram and deflection curve. Okay. Now we'll draw what will be the axial force diagram for this beam. Then we'll draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. So let us first draw the axial force diagram of this beam. In axial force diagram, we'll show only the axial forces in the member. Okay. So let us first consider this AB member. In AB member, there is axial force VA, which we have calculated is 4.60, right? And this is the member. One force is acting like this. One force is acting like this. So it will be in compression. So compression we are taking positive. Okay. I'm looking from here. Right, I'm looking from here, from this side, and this is I'm considering positive. Okay, so compression is positive, so I'm showing like this. This is our reference axis, which is which is basically a member. So this is AB. For AB, the value is 4.60. Okay, guys. Now, if we look into this DC member, this DC member is again under the compression, okay, and the value is 3.40, and it is uniform basically. So again, So again, this is positive. This is our reference axis. This is 3.40, right? Now for this member, this is the important thing. If you look like this is one part 3.52 and this is other part which is 1.28 and here 1.28, and if you add both these two values, so it will give you the force in net 4.80, which is acting in this point. Okay, so this portion you can see is in compression and this is in tension, right? So compression above this reference axis I am taking positive, so this is first is 3.52. This is positive 3.52. Okay, and after that the value is 1.28. So this is negative, right? So this is your basically the axial force diagram, right? If you join these two portion, you will get the net force of 4.80 in this direction, which is equivalent to this. So this is basically our, what you can say that the axial force diagram for this beam, right? And I'm looking from here and I'm saying that this section in this direction is positive. Okay, that's why I've shown positive value along this direction only. Okay, here the positive is above this reference axis and negative is below the reference axis. This is basically showing that this portion is in under tension. This is compression. So axial force diagram is done. Now we will come to the shear force diagram. And then we'll draw the bending moment diagram. Okay, so there is one force 0.95 over here. So for the shear force for the member, for this member A, B, C and D, okay, we are looking from here, from this side we are looking, again this is positive x-axis, this is positive x-axis, okay. So and this direction of the shear force is considered positive and this direction is considered negative, okay. So here you can see that this force is acting in this direction, so it is resembling this case, so it will be negative and it will be drawn below this reference axis, okay. So this value is 0.95, so it will go there and it will come to 0. This is negative shear force, this value is basically 0.95, right. This is the reference axis, or you can say that the member value. Now for this CD member, again it will be negative, so it will be drawn in like this. This is the reference line, so below the reference is negative, right. Now for this member, the shear force will be due to these forces, okay, and this case is resembling this positive axis case, okay. So shear force will start from here then it will come down at the midpoint because there is one point load is acting. And again, here the value is negative, this is positive, this value is basically 3.27, this is 3.121, okay. So this is basically the shear force diagram for this beam, right, for this frame. Now we need to draw the bending moment diagram for this frame structure, okay. So again, for bending moment diagram, we'll take the help of the shear force diagram. This will be yes, 8.6. So now we'll draw the bending moment diagram, right? So if you see this portion due to this moment, this portion will be in compression, and bending moment diagram is drawn from the compression side, right? This we have already discussed. So this moment will start from here. Okay, this moment will it will start from here. 1.01 the value will be the value. Okay, and again at this point the compression will be on this side. So again at this point the ordinate will be this is 3.85, this is 1.01, this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, right? Bending moment is drawn on the compression side, and you can see that this moment is causing compression on this fiber. If this is your cross section of the beam, not cross section, if this is the view in this, but you can say that if you see the side view of this thing, if this is the column and you are seeing from this side, okay, so this portion will be in compression and this will be in tension, right? As per this bending moment diagram, this moment will cause compression on this fiber, this moment will cause compression on this fiber. So, and the bending moment will be drawn from the compression side, right? Or in the other way, if this is our direction for positive bending moment, you just rotate this thing. And again, we are looking from here, this is positive axis, and we are looking from this side. Okay, so this is basically the negative bending moment diagram. If you rotate this thing by this is our positive basically diagram. So if you rotate it by 90 degrees, so this will be our positive bending moment diagram. But here you can see that the directions are opposite to this direction, so it will be completely negative, right? And the bending moment ordinates are defined from the compression side. This side will be in compression. That's why bending moment is drawn on the compression side. Now let us come to this, what you can say that BC portion. This moment is causing compression on this fiber, this side of the fiber, so it will start from here. Okay, and at some point it will be here. This moment will cause compression on this side, so it will start from here. Okay, so at some point it will be 0. This value will get 0. Okay, so this is your positive bending moment. You can say this is negative as per this direction. Now let us come to this BC portion. For the BC portion, you can see this portion, this bending moment will cause compression in downward. So the bending moment will start from this portion, this direction. Okay. And at the end, this is the bending moment is causing compression in this side. So again, we'll be having this value over here. This is 4.44. Okay. So shear force is changing its direction. Shear force is changing its direction, not direction. It is going from positive to negative. So bending moment will be maximum over here. Okay. So if you want to find this thing, you can write dm by dx equals to SF. So dm is basically negative. So dm is m1 minus of m2. This is m2 minus of m1, which is equals to shear area under this shear force diagram. Okay, if you integrate this thing, you will get the area under the shear force diagram. The shear force diagram area is 3.121 into this distance is 3.75, right? So M2 minus M1. M2 is the moment which will be getting over here, and M1 is this moment which is negative, minus 31.85. So M2 minus of 3.85 is equals to this thing, 3.121 into 3.75 plus 3 minus 3.85. So this value is 3.121 into 3.75 minus of 3.85. This value comes out to be 7.85. So M2 is 7.85. Okay, so the value at this ordinate, the ordinate of this value, the ordinate is 7.85 kilonewton meter, right? You can also 3.121. Okay. So this is the positive value 7.85. So this is the bending moment diagram for this frame, right? Again, you can see that these portions are negative. Negative means below as per our direction, which according to this direction. Okay. This side is basically showing compression. This side is basically showing tension. This side are basically these are basically showing the compression side. Okay, because bending moment is drawn from the compression side, right? So this is the bending moment diagram. Now we'll draw the deflection diagram of this frame structure. Okay, how it will deflect. So guys, we need to draw the deflection diagram for this frame structure, right? And the deflection diagram we will draw with the help of the bending moment diagram. Okay, so let us first draw the frame structure. Okay, the frame structure which is given in the problem. Okay, we need to draw the deflection diagram, basically how it will deflect, right? So now let us come to this member AB. Okay, this member AB, and you can see that the bending moment diagram is in compression side, is drawn towards compression side. So by looking at this bending moment diagram, I can say that if this is the member BA, so this face will always be in compression. Okay, so this face will always be in compression, right? So if this face in compression, so this it will deflect like this. At this A, the slope is basically 0. Okay, we need to maintain the boundary conditions also, right? So you can see that this portion is in compression, right? This delta value is basically nothing but this is delta value which we have calculated, right? And here also you can see that theta B, if let us suppose this is the tangent, theta B is basically, you can say that clockwise. Okay. Now there we need to draw the tangent for this when this member will deflect. We need to draw the tangent also, and the angle between the tangents will be equal to angle between these two members, right? So it is like this. Okay, so at B, for this member, you can see that this portion is in this portion is showing basically hogging, right? Upper portion is in tension and the below face is in compression. If let us suppose this is the face BC, okay, so this portion is in compression, right? This part of the BMD showing that this below face is in compression, right? And the angle it is clockwise over here. So if this is the tangent, it will deflect like this. Right, and you can see that the reference line will be this one. The reference line from which we are calculating the theta will be this one. So this is again theta B. Okay. So now what happened? It will go here. You can see that this portion is in this is basically showing sagging. Here the compression is in upward direction, right? Upward, up in top phase basically. So okay, this is the thing which we are getting from the bending moment diagram. Okay, so at C joint what will happen? There will be having some point of inflection. Okay, and we'll be having one delta deflection in horizontal direction. This is a displacement in horizontal direction, right? And you can see that this theta c value is basically coming anti-clockwise. Okay, so this is our reference axis. Okay, this is our reference axis, right? This reference axis is parallel to this axis because we need to calculate theta with respect to this axis, right? So if we draw the tangent over here, if we draw the tangent, and you can see that this theta c is basically negative, anti-clockwise, right? So again, we need to draw one tangent. Okay, and the angle between the tangent is similar to this angle, right? So let us suppose this is the reference axis, right? And again, it will bend something like this. Okay, so this theta is basically theta c. Okay, now here you can see that this is basically the point of inflection. Okay, this is point of inflection which is similar to this point. Okay, this is the point of contraflexure, is where they change from you can say that the curvature is changing basically. Okay, so this is point of inflection in this beam. So this is the delta deflection, and this member won't deflect in vertical direction. Okay, so this is basically and one more thing, you can see that up to this portion there is compression. Okay, so here you can see that this portion is in compression, right? And after that this portion will be in compression. So this is the deflection diagram for this frame structure. Okay, so but before that we need to understand the bending moment diagram and what are the direction we have assumed, right? Without that you cannot draw the deflection curve. And also we need to have clear-cut idea what are the theta values over here, and the reference axis will be the member axis only. Okay, with respect to the member axis we need to see that how much this member is rotated. Okay, like here this member axis is this, reference axis is this one, here the reference axis is this one. Why? Because this member is vertical. Okay, so this is the deflection diagram for this frame. So if you have any doubt you can write in the comment section, okay, regarding bending moment diagram, shear force diagram, deflection diagram. So we'll meet in the next lecture. Okay guys, thank you very much.